What it do, YouTube? Let's get into it, baby. We got some scary shit today for you. The four most disturbing internet mysteries. Now, did I just slobber? I don't care. We're into it, baby. Let's get it.
Woman in the Fields. In September of 2016,
Throw back to the throw back to the days where throw back to the days when you Go back to the days when you tell your parents you were at a sleepover. Meanwhile, you actually were in the field dying from drinking too much vodka.
meme began spreading online with a deeply troubling image attached to it. The caption usually read something along the lines of, throwback to the days when you tell your parents you were at a sleepover, meanwhile you were actually in a field dying from drinking too much vodka. The image accompanying the text showed what appeared to be a young woman lying face down in a field surrounded by tall grass, seemingly dead. But it's not just the contents of the image that make it disturbing, it's the fact that the image itself has virtually no traceable origin anywhere on the internet. Despite being shared across countless posts and memes over the years, no one has been able to identify who took the photo, who the woman is, or what was actually happening when it was captured, with a popular theory on Reddit making it all the more eerie reading. Judging by the stiffness of her body and the way she is lying down, I think it's fair to say that the lady in the picture is most likely deceased. Unlike what many have assumed, I personally don't think that the gray object on or around her head is her gray hair. Instead, it looks like to me like a plastic grocery bag, which could perhaps be the object that was used to kill her. While it's very hard to make out much about the image, I think that the grainy, blurred, and poor photo quality could also somewhat back OP's theory of it being from a snuff film. It could plausibly be a frame taken from it. Let's assume for a moment that everything being claimed is true, that the woman is actually dead, and that the image originated from some kind of snuff video.
Oh, hell no. So you telling me whoever took the picture was that close to a dead ass person, a murder scene, and they didn't even know it? Yeah, see that shit, that right there already be scary. That's why I already don't be doing shit like this.
The woman does appear on
Look at her. She do look dead, bro. That don't even look staged, and that do look like a plastic bag around her shit. But I thought if a nigga put a plastic bag over here, you just pop it, right? What the fuck be going on with people?
usually stiff and lifeless, and there even seems to be some kind of plastic material around her body. However, what makes this theory difficult to believe is the memes. If the image really was taken from a snuff film, it's strange that it would later be turned into a meme about drinking too much vodka. And while it's possible that the memes are referencing the original snuff video, it's even harder to explain how no trace of the full footage has ever surfaced online. In fact, beyond the image itself, there doesn't appear to be a single mention of any video matching it anywhere on the internet. Then there's the question of, if this really was a woman who was murdered on video, where are the police reports or news articles discussing such a case? You would expect at least some trace of an investigation, especially if the footage of the incident had been circulating online. Yet,
Bro, the police be so buns nowadays, bro. They be so ass gang. I be seeing niggas on high speed chase getting away from 'em so quick. Niggas be getting away with murders. Like, what's going on? Y'all need me to be a police officer? Cause I'm catching everything. Nigga. I'm catching everything. Give me the Durango. And I'm catching everything, bro.
despite years of people sharing the
It's not that
image,
hard.
no one has ever been able to connect it to a confirmed homicide, missing person case, or news reports. A more realistic theory is that the image is nothing more than a meme showing a drunk woman. It just happens to look incredibly disturbing. From what I was able to find, there are countless similar images originating from Russia. Around
Nothing like the days when you tell your parents you were at a sleepover and you were really dying in a field somewhere from alcohol poisoning.
2010, alcohol abuse was a common subject of Russian internet memes, with many featuring people lying unconscious or passed out in random places. As a result, numerous images from that era share the same eerie aesthetic, often depicting someone who appears dead at first glance, when in reality, they may have simply been intoxicated. While this doesn't definitively prove that the woman is alive, it offers a far more realistic explanation than the idea that the image came from a snuff film. Not to mention, what many people interpreted as a plastic bag wrapped around her body appears more likely to be some kind of raincoat or poncho. Unfortunately, given the limited amount of information available, it's
It kind of do give raincoat. It give raincoat. I can't even lie.
impossible to determine the truth with any confidence. We can only hope that the theories about the woman being dead are false, and that the entire situation is nothing more than an elaborate joke or misunderstanding. Alfonso NG. Alfonso NG is an extremely concerning YouTube channel created in July of 2014 that contains over 1,000 videos, none of which seem to make much sense. Nearly every video follows the exact same formula. A middle-aged woman dressed in a maid outfit and wearing a name tag displaying what appears to be an identification code stands in front of the camera. The video begins by focusing on her body before she introduces herself, after which the person behind the camera begins asking her a series of questions.
Can you sing children's song?
Yes, ma'am.
Please try.
London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. London Bridge is falling down. I fell.
And while the
London, they've been falling down, falling down, falling down. One bang, 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 falling down. That shit is scary. Imagine you just on YouTube and you see a whole bunch of videos like that. That's some demonic shit. Something going on, bruh. Something going on, bro. I'm telling you.
channel has been online for over a decade and contains hundreds
Sketchy already. Look how many videos. Look. 1K videos game. Alfonso. Bro, that sound already some
of
bullshit.
videos featuring different women. There still doesn't appear to be any clear explanation for its purpose. What makes the mystery even more unsettling is just how under the radar it has remained. Most of the videos have little to no views, and despite searching through forums and archives, I was only able to find one single Reddit thread discussing it. Beyond that, there is virtually nothing online explaining what Alfonso NG actually was or what ultimately happened to the hundreds of women featured on the channel. That lack of information has led to several disturbing theories. According to the most popular theory, the channel was some kind of database for human traffickers. Under this idea, each video
Oh my god. That makes sense. They do be doing that type of shit out here.
served as a
Hella.
profile for a different woman, showcasing what she looked like, how she spoke, and other details a potential buyer might want to know. The identification numbers displayed on the woman's name tags also match the video titles, giving buyers a simple way to search the channel for a specific woman using her assigned code. However, while human trafficking is a very real crime, this theory seems fairly far-fetched. If the channel really was part of an operation involving hundreds of victims, publicly uploading videos of them to YouTube would be an incredibly risky way to operate. You would expect an organization involved in something that serious to go to much greater lengths to conceal its activities, rather than openly posting them on a popular website. A more realistic theory is that the channel was nothing more than a collection of domestic workers seeking employment. You see, in many parts of
11
Asia,
years
it's
ago.
common for domestic workers, particularly women, to find jobs
Years
as
ago,
housekeepers,
forever.
nannies, and maids for wealthier families. Because there's often significant competition for these positions, recruitment agencies sometimes create profiles and introductory videos, allowing potential employers to view each candidate before deciding who to hire. Under this theory, the identification numbers can simply be employee IDs, while the interview-style questions were likely intended to showcase each woman's experience, language skills, and personality. Considering it's now been over 12 years since the channel was created, we'll likely never learn the full truth behind this disturbing internet mystery. Baby harvesting footage.
What? Baby harvesting footage. I don't know if I'm gonna watch
On
this.
July 11th, 2020, a user posted a thread to the RBI subreddit saying, "Video going around on Twitter of babies being harvested." Now, if you're lucky enough to have never seen the footage, it's an incredibly strange and disturbing video. The post was referencing to a shock video from Asia that appears to show several people washing the remains of babies. But here's where things take a strange turn. If you try searching for information about the footage online, you'll find nothing. No credible news articles, no official reports explaining what happened, and no confirmed origin for the video. Just shock websites and the occasional Reddit post asking for the origins. Now, one of the most popular theories surrounding the footage is that it shows evidence of so-called adrenochrome harvesting. If you're unfamiliar with the term,
How do you take that baby's life? Look at him. He chilling. Aw, so cute. Aw. Face, like, how do you even... Just wanna...
it's part of a bizarre and highly controversial internet conspiracy. The theory claims that powerful elites, Hollywood celebrities, and politicians kidnap and murder children to extract a substance called adrenochrome from their blood, supposedly using it as a psychedelic drug or anti-aging treatment. However, this theory has long since been debunked. Adrenochrome has no known anti-aging or youth-restoring properties, and there is no medical reason to harvest it from humans. The compound has been easily made in laboratories for decades, making the entire premises pretty unreasonable. Even if the conspiracy were somehow true, why would someone be allowed to openly film the process? If the footage really documented something that's secretive, it's difficult to imagine those involved willingly allowing it to be recorded. A somewhat more plausible explanation is that the footage shows medical infant cadavers being prepared or examined. However, that theory also begins to fall apart when you look at the environment in the video. While it's far too graphic to show here, the setting doesn't resemble what you would expect from a professional medical facility, given the strict regulations surrounding the handling of human
He look like he eat kids' noses. He look like he be eating their nose.
remains. The conditions shown in the footage seem highly inconsistent with standard medical practices. This has led to some bizarre theories, with some suggesting the footage shows an illegal underground market. But even then, allowing someone to openly film such an operation would be incredibly strange. And if the video really did capture evidence of a serious crime, you would expect some kind of police investigation or news coverage. Yet, despite
Police
years of
don't be on
speculation, no such reports appear to exist. In the end, the most likely explanation is that the entire video was created for shock value, with the babies actually being silicone reborn dolls that were being painted, assembled, or trimmed. Whether the footage was filmed inside a factory, an artist's workshop, or some other setting remains unclear. Whether the truth may be, the video's real origin remains a mystery. Unknown calls from a little girl. On March 25th, 2019, a Reddit user shared a bizarre call they had been receiving from what sounded like a little girl stating, "So a few years ago I moved to a new house in a new town. After living there for a few months, my brother mentioned that my son was talking to someone on the phone. My son told me it was his new friend. To keep this short, there was nobody on the phone. It was a recording of a little girl. So here's the breakdown. Music plays, then what sounds like a gunshot, then a little girl picks up, says a few things I can't understand and a few things I can't. The music comes back on and it loops again, over and over. Sometimes it would cut off on its own, and sometimes it would play over and over until you would hang up. It was all very random. Our phone would ring at odd times and this would be on the phone. The phone company had no idea what it was or where it came from. I honestly
Hell no. Man, hell no. Oh, hell no. Hell.
don't even know what I'm looking for by sharing this. The name of the song, if this is actually from a movie, the actual dialogue of the recording. This is what the full call sounded like.